So, the next 5 years, we have immigration. But because of our university system, we get a lot of people in the country. So the education and population decrease, but we managed to prevent this event. So the energy, we bought, as she said, the oil from USA. We work on a network grid to increase our technological appliance. And we made an efficient plant, which was the cogenerating system to transfer heat to the single cell protein, which will be explained afterwards. So we renegotiate with the US. It was a success, so we regained control of our 45% of oil. We negotiate with Gauss House, which is an old project, to build more houses. We increase the trading with Europe and build relationships with other cities of the country. So regarding the employment, we open a second university. We increase loans so people could study more without working. And we made some school upgrades where the children shouldn't have to work and just study. About the infrastructures, we bought new ships in order to fishermen. We built also an aerodrome for small planes. And we were planning to do more ETA Peneda and cogenerating systems in order to increase our energy sufficiency. Regarding to the social and health systems, we built a single cell protein, which is an instrument where we use natural gas or oil, and there are some microorganisms who feed off the natural gas, and then we can use these microorganisms to eat themselves, to eat them. So we gain a protein, a food, without using a lot of resources, which in the war it's a problem. And we also deploy some emergency bodies to counteract terrorist attack or emergency systems.
After these 10 to 15 years, the economy was getting better, so we had good news. The economy was increasing, and the cost of buildings were reduced. So, we just kept working on what we had been doing. We opened more international commerce. We built an airport. We increased our seaport commerce, etc. And also, we just tried to keep working on what we had been doing well, and also we tried to start regenerating the economy. For example, we started tourism encouragement. We also started a bit of entrepreneurship encouragement for people to work, and we also recruitment aids for companies that were installed in our city from other countries. The bad thing is that when those good years ended, there was a problem with oil price. It decreased because, well, international issues, but we had it was not so bad for us because our economy was very. We had been looking into many issues in economy. Also, since we didn't have all control of the oil, we were only selling 15% of all the oil production in the city. So we kept having good economy. Therefore, we were able to keep increasing what we had been doing, keep increasing the employment programs we had prepared. We also started to investigate in renewable energies because we didn't want to, because of the oil issue, and also we just tried to keep working on that. And yeah, sorry. And our final evaluations, here you can see all the numbers that we have been working with. So as you can see, we started with very low employment rate. Well, everything was really bad. We managed to high-end all the tables. our water and electricity supplies. Little by little, we kept increasing the situation. The crime was solved really early, and that's more or less what's happened. Now we will explain it.
Okay. Probably more illustrative than these numbers before are the graphics that we have developed for during this time scope, which goes from the beginning after the post-war period to 25 years later. First of all, we can see the evolution of the investment, which at the beginning had a great peak because we tried to make a great investment at the beginning to have new infrastructure, new utilities, and so on. And then this investment levelized. Also, we had a decrease of the savings, but this is due to this huge investment at the beginning. But the most significant aspect here is that we could increase along the 25 years our income capacity. So in the upcoming years, we will easily offset this decrease in the savings because actually we make a huge step in our incoming system. So this is really important because not only did we recover from the war, but also we make a step into the first world countries, such as we will see in the next slide, we have similar rate of employment and education level similar to Spain, for example. Actually, unemployment is about 20%, so it's similar what we have here at the moment. Also, the population had a slight decrease, but after some policies and campaigns to promote build in our city, we could increase the number. But this was not an important aspect to increase the population, just that our inhabitants live with a good standard of living or improved standard of living, even before the pre-war period. Also, we tried to increase the security levels after the post-war because it was quite dangerous. Our city, of course, this is normal, and it's deriving of war and force issues. Also, you can see that this was due to the increase of the police station. So all the measures that we talked before are sustained for all these numbers that we see here. And because of the wise planning we made along the whole years, we could keep improving. It's not just that we made up some measurements or laws to introduce, but all these laws were possible due to the plan along the whole years. Here we can see how the numbers of schools, hospitals keep improving along the whole the whole period. And also, here it's important that, as I mentioned, we try to develop several phases in different sectors of life and of the city. We develop our projects in several phases, and we can see, for example, here it's our cogeneration plan related to energy. Then in the second phase, there is the cogeneration plan instead of just the diesel plant that we have at the beginning, and finally, then we do some upgradings. The same with diplomacy. There are some evolution in the relationship with other cities. We can see this also in, for example, education. There are program launched in several occasions. Also, first we had agriculture regarding employment, and then at the end we encourage also livestock. And so this is so we can see some similar things for these other topics. And conclusions would be, first of all, as I mentioned, we make a step into the first world countries. We highly increase the standard of living, not just the standard of living after the post-war period, so after the war period, but also the standard of living that were before the war. Also, as I mentioned, we made an evolution of the measures introduced along the whole period. And that's our planning for these 25 years.
Okay, congratulations on the I would like to ask you, I think it was during the first 5 years, regarding the social and health systems, you were talking about you were planning to write the awareness, but you didn't talk anything about how to write that awareness.
Yeah, well, we had a little bit more detail on the ambient, well, on, yeah. So what we did 4
Measures,
For
infection,
measures? It was, well, the one about awareness, basically we wanted the population to know, like try to let them know that we are doing the best we can. So first of all, we just wanted to be very transparent, so we would just make like conferences and explain them what we're doing, and also we wanted to do a lot of feedback, so we would go like send people to get feedback from the population and see what they thought about what we are doing. We didn't really get that feedback because, well, the organization, they were very busy, but more or less that was the idea, so that if something was going wrong, we would change it in the ways the population
To see
was
how
asking.
the population expect that we evolve as a city, so we also had that call in what the decision would be.
safety, health, and some problems that should happen after the war, basically.
Person saying here, congratulations on the work.
Thank you.
I see you motivated. My question is about hospitals. I've seen that in the end you had like 5 or how many?
Yes.
How did you choose to focus? Because hospitals, one was damaged and everything.
Yeah, on the first 5 years we rebuilt the hospital, and
How many did you rebuild?
we had 2 at the beginning. We had 2, one was damaged, so we rebuilt one of them, and also in order for the 2 hospitals to work good, we put 2 generations next to each hospital. I didn't remember who mentioned it in the presentation, and then during the next 5 years we built 3 more hospitals for the city.
Because we invest on pest control, for example, for growing of population. We also invest on safety measures, for example, with firemen or.
Yeah. During the last years also we had like a very strong, how do you say that, emergency system. We first we built the hospitals, like the main structures, and then we moved to.
As we mentioned, we wanted to also take advantage, well, if we can say that, to take advantage of the war to actually improve the situation compared to the pre-war years. So we wanted to be Libya. It was a country that we could probably all agree that it was in the as a developing country, maybe not third world, but not first world either. And what we wanted to do is increase the health system, and that's why we invest a great deal of our budget on hospitals. That was the idea.
And what's the ratio between how many hospitals are towards people?
The ratio, we can see here, actually, if we divide 5 by, sorry, this 530 divided by 5, so it's about 100,000 people per hospital, or hospital. Yeah. One hospital per 100,000 people, more or less.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, congratulations for the presentation. My question is, in the last year you said that you got a drop of the oil price, right? And the point is, I didn't really get why did you decide to invest really in this moment in renewable energy, while the cost of energy produced by traditional sources would be
Thanks for the question. And mainly it was because, as mentioned in the presentation, we wanted to evolve us into the first country jump into the first country cities or countries, first world countries, cities or And the idea was to take advantage of this and evolve from a petrol oil-based system to an energy-based system.
The thing is, before that, the thing is, with the oil decreasing of price was bad to us because we were selling oil. So
But in our country,
The-
the oil used was basically for single cell protein, for example, for food for the population. We also use it in cogeneration systems to produce energy, and basically that was all the oil we used,
The thing
and
is-
also in the.
So basically, in
Yeah,
your
but
in
the
your
thing-
city, what you did
This
is to
one.
use the self-production for energy and feeding.
the thing is,
Basically.
our oil, yes, we had enough oil for self-production. So all the oil that was left, we wanted to sell it, but since the price dropped, we decided to move into try to investigate for the future in renewable energies, so that if we negotiate with energy in the future, we will have something else than oil, which was something that also we were starting to use less, because, for example, the single soil protein was a measure we adopted when we like really needed food. But at the end, as you could see, we started trying to have more agriculture, so we would move, like, have better food, not just the
Okay.
protein.
The idea,
That's what we need, and that. Like,
the idea was to, or our scope is that in the future we will be able to switch to a self-sufficient country, and also more environmentally friendly. So we wanted to set aside the oil-based system. So that was the idea. And we take advantage of the situation that we didn't need the oil.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, we are Tesla team. My name is Andrei, this is Jose, Carlos, and Alejandro. This is our plan for reborn Benghazi. Well, first of all, Benghazi is the capital of Barca, situated in the northeast part of Libya, ancient Cyrenaica. It has a surface of 280 kilometers square, 530,000 people. Unemployment rate, actually that's employment rate is 20%. The 60% of the urban zone is desolated after the war, and we have 500 million euros as income each 5 years. Okay, we start with phase one. In phase one, we have these objectives: increment security by building police stations after the war. A lot of mafias, terrorism, people running, trying to survive, doing anything they must do to have something to eat, perhaps, or drink. We repair the train station and build 56 kilometers of rails. Why? Because if population can travel, population can work, and if population can work, population can survive without being a criminal. Also, we must retake again electric and water supply. Water supply is essential for sanitation and health among the population, and electric supply is necessary also for power all the industries that we will build in the next years. So.
Energy supply needed for power infrastructure and house. Jobs created, approx cost 3 million. Initial police efficiency 0.030. Initial crime rate 0.016. How we improve the efficiency? Increasing the number of police stations. With this simple equation, we can calculate the number of minimum police stations to grow. Actual police efficiency is 0.017. Water supply. Water supply is vital for maintain sanitation and avoid illness among population. Building desalination station cost 30 million. Train station. Road and communication are vital for building other infrastructures and helping people reach jobs. Consequently, increased number of people working. Station reconstruction cost 13 million. 540,000 kilometers railroad track plus building.
Okay, we reach year 5. Crime has growth again. It's a scene of violent post-war background. The crime rate has increased 30%. Mafias take control of the city as well as terrorists, and the consequences, if we don't deal with this, will be a 2% loss of population and a 10% decrease in incomes in future stages. In phase 2, we will face these objectives. We must build new schools so we can teach new generations to not commit our past mistakes. We build roads because people fortunately can become richer and afford cars, and the industry will grow. Trucks will provide food, water, anything, and we construct a new hospital, a harbor, 4 new police stations to deal with the problem of criminality increase. We build oil pipelines, we reconstruct the urban area, a new university so we can improve. So we don't need foreign specialists to help to increase our industry, and we allow external private corporations to build refineries, and they take 10 years contracts, and they take some part of the diesel and oil derivatives in this contract and give us the 30%. Okay, we build the roads. Roads are important. Early civilization started with the roads. Romans know that, the Carthaginians know that, Napoleon know that. So we spent 5.5 million in 200 kilometers, I think it's all later on in the tables. 200 kilometers of roads, new roads, 4 police stations. We increased the police efficiency to 0.021. That cost approximately 11 million euros. Okay. External private corporations build refineries in our territory. We let them to exploit our oil for 10 years. In exchange, we take 30% of diesel and petroleum derivative products to use in our country. We get it for free. Okay, a new harbor. Now we can trade. We have a window open to Europe, to the Mediterranean Sea. We can import other stuff like vehicles, home appliances, some technology that we can't build or we don't have in Benghazi. A new hospital, of course, it increases quality of life and health levels among population, and oil pipeline. We reconstruct the urban area totally, so people have somewhere to live. and so people in the background of the city, in the countryside, decide to come to the city and help to rebuild it. We also give some citizenships, so young people with proficient profiles can also help our country to grow. Results: we increase the number of high-level education specialists, we increase I plus D plus I, we increase tourist income, we increase and ease high-level education, electricity supply, and increase CO2 emissions by increases. Okay. 10th year, immigration. Education is reduced by 10% and incomes reduced 5%. If not treated, this problem would cause additional penalization of 10% loss in education and 50% population loss. In phase 3, we build again university, and also we give again scholarships, so more people can study in university and increase the number of specialists in diverse forms of science and stuff we apply to rebuild our country. We build also an airport, watering canals, and we incentive. We have an agriculture plan so we can be autosufficient in food. We give money to countryside people that may have lost their farms so they can regrow cereals or some important source of food. We built 2 more police stations to increase security. We built the airport and port police so we can control drug traffic and smuggling. That is a big way to lose money for a city, smuggling and drug traffic. We increase train communications with other cities. We upgrade the rails that we already built in phase 1. We have also a plan of 20 million euros to conserve and reconstruct the cultural and historic heritage of Benghazi and the surroundings. And we also, in collaboration with the European Union, we built a pipeline under the sea from Benghazi to Sicilia. So the flux of oil can be larger and easier to export it. We also we can't rely only on petrol, so we build a solar power plant. We have a lot of sun and a lot of space, some almost empty deserts in the south, and we built this to also decrease CO2 emissions. The salinization plant upgrades and expansion, shipyard to build and increase industry. We can repair oil tankers and build them as well. We are creating jobs. We have engineers, naval engineers to build them and repair them. And also a military port because the boats, we have more boats in our coast. We have to protect them from terrorists and pirates who are stealing maybe oil or some other products. In year 15 comes compensation. Incomes increased by 20% for 5 years. Praise the gods. So now, Carlos?
I told about the phase 4. In this phase, the economy is good. Now the goal is the tourists and for example, the universities and technology park, because the ADA is very important for the economy in the future. I will cruises, scholarships, and other solar power plants, because all times I don't only for the oil, because in the future maybe it's not the important resource for our urban expansion plans, increase urban population trends for the quality of life, for increased happiness levels, metro, more jobs, the people can go to the job better, and the connect cities back. And now?
Okay, at this time we have created the war rings, and I want to talk the last phase of this plan. We built 5 schools and provide a payment studies, a Olympic Stadium for increase the quality of life for fun, make Benghazi a place that all the people know, and help families with 2 more children with a bonus. Build 2 more police stations for increase more the security, a golf course for the richest to come to the country, and a regasification plant to depend less from the petroleum. A yard port to attract riches, solar tower power plant to reach capacities to export electricity to Egypt and Sudan, and a trade center for foreign inversions in Benghazi, based on companies and enterprises, encourage economic exchange between countries in the Mediterranean. Scholarships encourage young people to aim higher studies. Water and amusement park to increase tourism, quality of life, and jobs, and make jobs. And this is the statistics. Unemployment rate decreased to 5%. Incomes ascend to 1,300. Education go up to 7%. And this is the expense of the country in all the years. And we have the reference here. 3 pages.
We used a lot of real references about real projects. We get the approximately cost based on how much people is living in Benghazi, and making some approximations with the prices. Anytime if you want to check it, you can do it. Thank you very much, and I hope I didn't bore you so much. Questions?
Congratulations to the work. My question is regarding in the 3rd phase only. I noticed that you focus more on food, and you put emphasis on agriculture, but it's a dry area and there was a water problem. So what made you make that choice?
Because I know Libya, this ex-dictator Gaddafi, he made a huge plan with canals. He built canals to irrigate desert areas to provide food to Libya. And if he did that 20 or 30 years ago, we can do it now. So we decided to build canals to provide water to some areas where maybe the ground is dry, but it's rich in minerals, so the plants can grow.
Well, about this part of food resources, did you talk of increasing fishing capabilities of the city? I mean, you got in the first phase these 3, let's say, oil resources that you can reinvest in, for example, reducing cost of fishing, fishing equipment.
We missed that point. Yes, we missed that point.
Okay.
Okay, I can see that you focus a lot in education, which I think is a good point, but in the early years of the university, how do you plan to motivate the people to join the university?
Motivation. Well, actually, we give studentships, we give money to them, and maybe they will be encouraged to study, to aim higher.
Okay.
Thanks.
It's okay?
Okay.
Good afternoon, dear jury, other teams. My name is Patricia Cambronero and I'm of the mayor of Benghazi. My team of civil engineers, management and, and business compose Phoenix project. And we have performed the next project, a new opportunity of Benghazi. This is our content and okay. After a period of 20 years of war, Benghazi is totally destroyed. And it is our initial situation.
Well, as you can see, the population is like half of a million of people. A survey like Warsaw, accelerated area, unemployment around 30%, and a saving with 2,000 million. In order to approach better our problem, we have performed the macro pyramid, where it is reflected the physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. For improve our project and make it more applicative, we have performed also a SWOT analysis, where is the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We have the strength that we are now in peace, the weaknesses, our buildings, our cities absolutely destroyed, the opportunities, we are close to the sea, and also we have a lot of oil. And the threats, the forecast savings can be not realistic. We have taken as an example the city of Warsaw, a spot in Europe that had 80% of the buildings destroyed in the Second World War. Year 0 to 5. So period year 0 to 5. From destroy to recovery. We will focus in the physiological needs, the macro pyramid. Well, first of all, we have to remove all the debris, what will produce unemployment, increasing the urban agriculture in order to provide food to our people. So we will have food and home reconstruction that also will get improved of the employee. But we will need energy. We can decide from two different kinds of energy, mainly. Solar panels, where in the desert there is a lot of sun, and also thermal plants. How have we chosen? We have chosen using a multivariate analysis for the power supply with solar plant and thermal plant that are our options, and in the options are also price, time, power, with loads. The middle is because it's bad, and finally the point is that we have decided thermal plant. We have rebuilt the oil extraction plant and also the thermal power plant, as I commented, what increase the employment and the energy production for all the facilities and different stuff. We can live in a city that is full of contaminated, wasted water. So we have reviewed the water supply and sanitation, and in order to drink and have some water to our fields, a desalination plant. So again, the employment increasing and decreasing the illnesses. We have performed a diagram with the main activities. We have for example, the time for remove the debris will take like 2 years. From the construction of the 30% of the homes, it will take almost the 5 years, as is shown here, not the 6 months. And now the second period. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I'm going to explain you the second period, years 5 to 10. Now we have focused on the safety needs. As we have said, we are going to base our project in the Maslow Hierarchy pyramid. In the second period, we have made an electrical network to supply the power, the required power. Also, we have built the main roads in order to the production of the industry, and as we have a port related to this, the reconstruction of the port is important because of the communications and, of course, the main roads to communicate the port with other cities in Libya. And of course, at the same time, we have reconstructed the hospital. This is healthcare. We have made 5 schools, and this increases the education, and 8 police stations that offers us security. The schools we applied a policy to build a new school per year. So the education would increase constantly year per year. And at the same time, as we have made police stations, we build jails to protect the people, because if you don't have jails, criminals are free, so it's illogical. To promote the happiness of the people, we want to create some sport buildings as football fields or basketball courts, and we want to take a real good improvement in our universities, the 2 we have. This investment is like we would have 7 universities. These 2 universities would be both the best of Africa. And of course, we have made for security a court tribunal to punish people, bad people. And here we have the diagram. Here, the main roads would spend more or less 2.5 years. The finished things we should do are the sporting buildings and the investment in the university. And I'm going to tell you again the third period, the social needs. Okay, please. We want to develop more our solar power plant, and in the third year, as we are in an Arabic culture, we want to build a souk. This souk would be made or managed with an ideas contest of architects and engineers to make, as it's really hot, to make some shadow in the department. And we want to improve the development of the universities and of the African places with the technological part near the university. That people would be really connected, the investigators and the people who are in the university. And this is the Gantt diagram again. We have all the periods. The technological part would be an investment for all our lives, but we are investing in education, and the budget of this period would be 196 million dollars. Euros, sorry. And now my partner
Good
will explain
afternoon, my
my
name is Raymond Porta, and I'm the engineer in charge of the last 10 years of planification. We are on the STEAM needs, so we are focusing in these 5 years on the social needs and to create an identity with the city. We improve the quality of life, creating a new resident area that is made by a content with local engineers and architects, promoting efficiency and green areas. So then we promote startup companies with a cluster, and then communications improvements to promote quality of life. Here's the grand diagram. So we would like to focus on the create a festivity for the city or cultural activities, public transport, creating a tram, or new buildings from the town hall and station, or scholarship buildings that we have passed from Bull House to build scholar buildings. For the last 5 years, we are on the self actualization. So we have experimented a decrease on the incomes, and we want to reserve for future periods overall to have better income when the price grow up. With oil storage, we build an airport to communicate with other countries and also to take goods to the country. And we create an industrial cluster that's close to the port. Okay. And here's the budget with some of the activities that you can check before.
Hello again. Let's talk about money. Here we have a graph where it's showing the accumulated expenses, the accumulated incomes, and the accumulated benefits. As you know, we are in an expansionist economy, but we have a lot of oil. Then we are also in a positive state. The job is increased period by period because we are in an after-war economy, and the population is decreased in some moment because the war is really close to our time. But after that, increase the population year by year, as is logical. We have built in resume, we have built 5 public schools, what give us 90% of educated people, high cultural immersion, sustainable development, a lot of university support, what improve the economy, the education of people, attract foreign people. The city in the map can stand up because of the culture, the science, the tourism. It's sustainable, based for creating future jobs in technology areas, the independence from oil markets, because we have invested a lot of money in education, universities, also in ports. And this is how we give a new opportunity for the country. Thank you very much.
Just mistake here. I would like to correct this. One school built per year during all the periods. So it's 25. Or, so.
Well, thank you for your presentation. It was really good. I've seen that you basically pointed your your work on a real case, okay, so on city of Warsaw. Did you consider that here the scenario will be significantly different? Again, as the previous group, seems to me that you forgot the closeness to the sea of this city. So apart from communication with the port, with the seaport, food supplies, did you decide to invest in fishing and?
Okay. We want to remark that the first calculation in the port is a restoration. So in the past, the port had fishing area.
Okay.
So we invest in that fishing area,
Okay.
and we assume that we
So,
need it.
okay.
And then we create a terminal for a polyvalent terminal that is for all kind of goods, and also a liquid runner. I don't know.
Okay. So sorry, it was my fault. I didn't get this.
This
This
because
point.
it's a lot of
it's a lot
short
of-
period of time, and we have to go. And then we create also a terminal for containers, but also it's only in the last period. Yes.
Okay. So thank you.
I have a question. Yeah, thank you for the
The
presentation.
construction of factory is already everything is in the diagram.
Yeah, but
invented, but
it's really difficult to
it's
follow all this graph if you go.
a lot
really
of
fast.
information in just 15 minutes.
Thank you. My question is regarding the health again. So you focused on it only on the second phase. First phase also you had food and stuff, but later why not healthcare in the first phase as well, because it falls into the basic needs.
Health, yeah, this is health. Reconstruction of hospitals. We have 2 hospitals.
This is the second. Did you want to about the first phase?
In the first period, we start with 2 hospitals after the war. One is currently it's okay, and the second one is partly destroyed. So first 5 years we consider that this is we need this to invest then in good equipment to the new hospital.
So you thought that people could wait 5 years to have a second hospital?
In this period, we assume that a lot of ONGs and UN will help us in an agreement, and not to build only fastly, not planified. Our hospitals to the needs, special needs, and then UN and ONG work together with us. And then if you go to the last page.
Our budget is not limitless.
That's
So
correct.
we should focus step by step in different parts.
Yes.
So you see here, healthcare centers, 10 health centers, to focus the healthcare to be close to the neighborhoods and not only assumed by the hospitals. 2 hospitals, okay, but what about the healthcare?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
In us, yeah. So
In the second phase, we arrived to agreement between Ecuador and Bangladesh in medical per 1,000 people. It's around it was like 0.7 Bangladesh and 1.7 Ecuador. The average is the doctors per 1,000 people that we will have in the second phase of our project. So it's not in the slide because it's
all right. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations, and I have a very short question. During the last years, I think you were talking about that you built an airport to ride the tourism, but how would you promote your city among the rest of the world? I mean, I thought you mentioned something about a cultural immersion, but can you elaborate a little bit more?
During the the second and the third period, we want to promote the culture of the city because a lot of people are immigrating, so we need to retain them in the city, well, not retain, but not by the force, but we want to create a big show. It will be a reference in Africa. At the same time, this technological park would be extremely good, and also we will invest in publicity of the university to promote it. The university, all the power plants, and of course, the show will be really interesting for engineers and architects because this would be a contest for them.
As Carlos said, it's an international contest to engineers and architects, and we want to create like a icon for the city. So like a souk with a shadow and with commercial area, but not as usual, commercial, local commercial to develop also the culture. And then we think that also at the first period we reconstruct some areas by local agriculture, and we think that this is a icon also from the city to create a different city. So we think that, and then we have built a terminal for cruises in the
And you should remember another thing, that is where is spot our city. It's very close to the Cairo, the capital of Egypt, and also to Algeria, and Greece also. It's in the Mediterranean, so it wouldn't be difficult to make like trips around Africa, for example.
Scales.
Yeah, in scale. Greece. So the tourism is not so where to supposed to have. Anything else?
Good afternoon. My name is Marta Muñoz and my teammates are Amara Revuelta, Ruth Valle and Cara Gonzalez. We come from the University of Valladolid and we have studied management engineering. Well, the conference that has our project, it has these following steps. We talk about the initial conditions of the city after the war, then about the different actions that we've taken in the different periods here, and at the end the conclusions that we get. The first conditions that had our city, well, it's the estimate that it has, it's semi-arid, and we have their surface, their population, that will decrease later, and the employment rate, well, the savings that we have to start rebuilding our city, and the education level at the moment, with the number of schools and universities at 115 and 23. Then we start with our actions. Right after the war, we decided that the first thing that we should do is have emergency service actions the first month. This includes avoiding new fires, helping people in need that might be wounded, picking up debris to reduce the fact that there can be infections. Well, also delivery of humanitarian aid. This means to the water, the food, and medical supplies that people might need right after the war. Well, make a damage evaluation to quantify and qualify what we should do next years. Start building temporary houses for people that cannot live in the street. Public health infrastructure improvement. Here we would, as soon as possible, rebuild the hospital that was damaged.
because it's important to prevent infections. It's one of the first things that we should take into account after a war. And also ensure proper water supply. We will start dedicating money to rebuild the structures and ask for water because it's also essential. The electricity is the same as the water. We would invest a lot of money now and also later to rebuild all the structures that we had before to supply electricity. This means also the central stations, all the wires, all the operation that we need. Well, we were planning the start of rebuilding of the infrastructures, but it would be taken into account in the next steps. Here we plan and make what we can, but it's not the first step that we take. We guarantee the continuation of the basic education because we think that after a war it's very important that the children in that moment don't abandon their education. We will dedicate a lot of money now and after to rebuild schools and make sure they don't abandon it. And well, we organize a net of small commerce for the local businesses that might be affected. We would give them money to reopen and make sure they don't lose their jobs because a lot of people will be affected. The total cost that was estimated in our actions in this period was 756 million euros. This was the result. The population decreased because there were a lot of people wounded from the war and either they died or they leave the country. The employment rate increased because of the new businesses that were opened. The savings, this is a disadvantage, the savings decreased because of the actions we took. We had better income. And then, well, the universities stayed the same. Education level also increased. What we should say here is that the crime rate increased because of the war. The police structure was not the best one, so the crime increases, and then we should take this into account. The police stations stayed the same, and now this is the new adversity that we should face. The crime rate that we have now because of the war, the free war, after war. There are mafias taking control of parts of the city, so that the commerce doesn't work properly because it doesn't attract investors. This is it. So, in order to make all of this better, we have 5 more years. And we continue the humanitarian aid because there's still a lot of people that don't have houses. We should provide them food or similar. Also continue to improve the water supplies because they were not absolutely rebuilt. And the electricity supply is the same. Now we strengthen the police presence. We have courses for our police to make sure that they have presence in the main points of the city and also in the urban areas that surround the city, so that the crime could decrease. Tough and penal laws against every crime, also small robbery. And we will start programs of social integration for people that had problems after the war, to teach them that they shouldn't start stealing, that there are other things that they can do and they feel integrated in society. We will continue investing in education, but not only basic education, also in universities, because we need this workforce for the future, so that we don't have to hire workforce from other countries, we have our own. We continue building and negotiating with private companies from other countries that could open companies inside our city and hire people from our country. We reconstruct the infrastructures we end the reconstruction of the city, and we continue incentivizing aids for small businesses. In this part, we spent more money, almost 900 million euro, and we could increase the employment rate. We also increase the education levels with the universities. The water supply and electrical supply increase. the crime rate, well, it shouldn't stay the same. It was a problem with the organization. Okay. And everything went better after 10 years. So now we had a new problem, the immigration. Because of the war, even though we had a lot of new actions, people started leaving, looking for offers in other countries, and now we should try to make them stay in our country.
Okay. After 10 years, the action that we have taken are the next. First, conclusion of the water supplying, and another conclusion of the electricity supply and infrastructure, and make it easier for big international companies to open factories in our city. In addition, conclusion of the water supply, conclusion of the electric supply infrastructure. Okay. Increase to offer of education schedule for people over 16. Continue the investment in basic and higher education, and economic aid to a small business. In addition, child reportation, strengthen the police operation against mafias, and continue with the program of social integration. And in addition, study a new potential commercial routes, continue building and rebuilding of permanent houses, and continue the building and rebuilding of the main buildings of the city. Finally, the total cost, the action is 819 millions of euros, and the result after 15 years are the next. You can see the population has decreased, unemployment rate have increased, incomes increased, savings decreased, and education level, school, water supply, electricity supply, police efficient, police station, train station have increased. At the end of this period, it appeared a new adversity, compensation, economically stagnated. Citizens have fled or emigrated, and finally providing consumer goods and industrial equipment.
After 15 years, we are going to continue promoting the implementation of big international companies. We are going to try to invest in basic and higher education, because education is very important, and continue with children protection programs, because there was a problem in the past that the children had to work because their parents didn't have money. And we are going to continue with the economic aid to small business, so the general economy of the city can grow. Continue with the program of social integration, so the crime will decrease. And then exploit the new feasible commercial routes. We plan to make a project about new sea routes, so we will have more exploitation. Then we are going to have an expansion of the city port, because we think that this is a great point to grow our internal economy. And because of the problem, because of the war, we make a deal with the country, the main country, so they were going to help us to make this expansion. And of course, we are going to increase economic aid to the business dedicated to the logistics of the port, because we are going to focus in the port as the main point of economic growth. This is going to cost us 700 million euros. Just to see, the population, employment rate, savings, and incomes have increased, as well as the education level, schools, tram rates, and the seaport. And we have a new adversity in the economy. We need to extract our oil. The extractor in our oil in our country is no longer affordable, and we are planning to restructure our economy in order to avoid a great impact.
Okay, and now in the last 5 years, we have created a
a program for interest in my class B companies because we need to create new income sources. We have developed first policies to increase our population and make the city more attractive for tourists and create new businesses. We have to maintain economic aids to the businesses dedicated to the logistics of the port. We continue to invest the investment in the new physical commercial routes. And finally, we are going to continue the investment in basic and higher education, as we have done in the past. Finally, we are going to construct new modern buildings and infrastructures in the city, and that's 760 million. We have increased all our rates, population, employment, isolated urban areas, sales, and incomes. The education level, schools, criminal rates, and police officers. So it's an absolute exit. Success. Sorry. So the conclusions are the next. You can see in these graphics how urban areas have grown from the 0 year to the 25 years. In these other graphics, we can see how the population has decreased because of the crisis, but then it has increased again. The education level has increased, and employment rates have increased over these years. And finally, in this other graphic, we can see an evolution of all of that. Here are the millions of years and the years. We can see in blue color the costs, in red color the incomes, and in green color the savings. So the total costs have been that amount of money, and the savings finally in the 25th year are those ones. So thank you for listening, and that's all. If you have any questions.
Okay, congratulations. A very strong question. I can see that the population dropped a lot in the first 15 years. Did you take any action to avoid the immigration, or you just waited for the city to?
No, we have policies. One of them was to increase the businesses in our area.
Yes, we had different actions. The first one of them was well, not the first one. One of them was having negotiations with one petrol company, and we negotiated with them that if they open their plant, the 70% of their workforce would be from our city, and they would give us that 10% of their benefits too. So this way, it will be a lot of people working in the petrol stations. Also, we gave a lot of aids to small businesses so that they wouldn't close. And we kept trying to give local aids to people that have businesses there.
I've seen that, well, at least you didn't say that, but there was any investment in big projects in your plan. I mean, refineries, power plants, and so on.
Well, all of those investments were included in reconstruction and construction of electric structure. It was included there to reconstruct the possible central stations that would have been damaged, because we actually didn't have information about if the previous stations were damaged or not, because the energy didn't come only from our city. It would come also from different cities around that were not destroyed by that time. So we decided in general to reconstruct what was damaged. And we had a lot of money included for that.
And about the refinery, we have a deal with the company, and we were going to be.
Okay.
Thank you for your question and answers. My question is regarding the food and energy resources. So you relied on surrounding cities and regions for additional power, but did you consider, or I maybe missed it, something alternative to petroleum in the region and also the food?
We only have to consider to have the same electricity supplies we had in the past. So it's from the area, from the countries we have around, and only the petroleum we have decided to export everything and to improve our supply with that money.
And the food?
The food.
I saw that in the first, yes, 5 years? No, I maybe missed it.
Yeah, 5 years we are going to receive help from other countries, and then I think that we thought that we were big enough to produce our food again.
But in what ways?
In what ways?
The same ways that we had before in the factories that are in the sea. Well, in the factories and also the transportation. With our port, we have communications with a lot of cities in our own country and also from different countries. So at first it would come only from that way if we didn't have our own resources, but we think that after 5 years the food suppliers would come normally. We would rebuild it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and thus we end the presentation of the second case study. Now the jury will start deliberating. Thank you all for presenting. Thanks to the jury for taking some time on this Sunday afternoon to join us and rate the studies. And now I will ask you to please leave the room and leave the jury to deliberation. Thank you very much.
Sí, vale, renovamos al final. Sí. Entonces, a mí me gusta pero son un equipo no eso de presentación. Sí, entonces también se dice. Sí, eso con errores en... Errores no, ¿quién lleva esto? en general es como una de tantas palabras de todo porque no es una cosa muy, pero sí, tampoco es la y con miedo, pero tener en cuenta que primeros y eso también afecta vale, no, cada uno trabaja.
Sí.
¿Necesitáis algo? Tenemos que entregar estas hojas y cada uno una nota,
No, al final un veredicto final.
Sí, bueno.
No consenso entre todos.
O sea, que tenemos que ganar o la nota.
Sí, no, dice final. La clasificación. La clasificación con nota. Puede hacer la media grado, creo que se estaría bien.
De cuatro ambos y cada equipo cuántos tiene.
Sí. Entonces, hacemos como tengáis, si veis que lo que se corresponde a la diferencia de quién ha ganado, si sale muy distinto, podéis jugar un poco con los porcentajes y a ver si.
Entonces tenemos aquí o una, sí, dejamos una. No, pero para
Los secretarios dije, ¿juego a esto? Sí. Bueno, los cojones no. Entre el primero y segundo, tercero, así que.
Y total.
Me mola el sector.
No fallos en la presentación.
Entonces.
Esta S es para hoy, yo creo para mañana, porque no vas a tener que reducirlo.
Entonces, pero eso es muy
Bueno, pero
por eso, sí, por eso
estaban bastante empujando.
Y adaptación es demasiado lo he perdido en cuanto sí, estaba bueno, luego la defensa, y no, no, sí.
Yo soy sí. Para hacer música perfecta.
Vale, entonces, vale, entonces tenemos 777, a ver, un polvo. Sí, parece que sí, y eso da efecto también de contrastes y no efecto para eso y de la presentación de los por eso es un poco subjetivo. Sí, pero la mayoría de los porcentajes van hablando demasiado. Como pues también porque sabemos quién habla mejor y más atención al otro y dan mejor también sí lo que eso sería pero sí se queda tenemos en cuenta sí, pero si la chica no eso es vale, vamos a
Gracias. A mí me parece que han sido bastante muchos proyectos que de verdad resultaron pipeline latinos y sí, no se dice pero se van a hacer y eso de la delegación también es un proyecto muy pensado. Pero si es
Vale, voy a poner seguridad y yo tengo al final, porque he visto como han llegado como a nuestro 9, muy, sí, pero es estructurado. Yo lo he visto así. Pero tampoco lo sé. Pero eso pasa en realismo, no en cansado. O sea, que los resultados finales están muy buenos. Sí. Es una cosa bueno. Yo no sé si he llegado hasta 9, no puesto nada. Tal vez también en la comparación con el primer equipo, porque se hace eso, pero comparado con los otros, sí, me quiero comparar
a ver.
Lo de sí, acoso solar, pero sí, en el tercero. Sí, bien, porque antes sabes el dolor. Sí, pero cuando una es un tema de eso, aunque no cuando no me han es el primero, o que dice. Presentación yo entre 8 y 9. En total. Sí.
A ver lo que está ¿cuáles?
Ya, había cosas, sí, eran, sí, el tercer equipo me gusta de la presentación, pero con demasiada información. En las tareas sí es donde no se puede ver eso. Pero sí, ellos han hablado de muy
buena presentación
y son softwares.
Porque respondían bastante poco.
Sí, un poco ya agresivo, pero eso es bueno, asertivo. Asertivo es bueno porque es bueno, pero hay un momento que no voy a hablar porque sí, más bien pero no entiendo nada. De verdad, Vale. Entonces, primera cosa, ¿lo mismo 8?
9.
Sí, 8. Los objetivos, 9. 3. Adaptación, 8. Y presentación, 8. Sí, es un medio, ¿no? ¿De qué? ¿La presentación? Sí, 10 y usa la del chico. Yo 9, sí, porque el chico no. No sé si no, porque en comparación con el equipo 2, estaban ahí. Estructurada, sí. No, no mucho, me van a cambiar mucho de paralelismo y sí, un poco menos que nosotros. Los anteriores. Sí, sí, han tenido una.
Bueno, haciendo.
Claro, pero eso también. ¿Quién? ¿Quién?
De verdad, lo vendía muy bien. Yo creo que como acá hubiera tenido éxito. Ahí. Le decía un dictador. A ver. Esos son comentarios más.
Yo no veo bien. Yo ahora mismo 8 para mí. Yo sí te lo 8. Sí, yo estoy pensando así para 8 porque así pensamos. Objetivos, los puesto 8.5. Creo que va a ser 8. Pero un poquito menos. Espérate. 8. Yo creo que tengo 8. Al menos no, a mí no me lo tengo. Sí, sí, tampoco. Sí, tiene que hacer preguntas y realmente había mucho de trabajo. Pero también no lo vi con background, con razones, ¿no? Presentaciones muy fuerte, pero estudios como el pero sí, 7 y eso es con toma. Sí, entonces, ¿era el mismo 8? Sí. Por eso, igual es mucho, ¿no? Sí. Las chicas. No, es un poco más difícil porque son chicas y andan de manera un poco distinta para ti. Por eso tú creo que vas a muy bajito hablando. Yo creo que es la única común. O sea, que yo creo que algo trabajo de tanto de la sí, eso no es el físico, sí, yo he dicho realismo, no, realismo es muchas cosas si todavía está a la izquierda, sí, todavía sí. Pero eso no sé si eso se lo podemos hablar aquí. Sí, 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 esto es. Yo lo tengo como entre 7 y. Mira, 6, 7.
Es que me acabo de dar cuenta de que esto estaba todavía transmitiendo.
¿Adaptación?
Bueno, lo acabo